On this episode of Lapeef Let's Talk.
In this chat, if you're a good man and a woman can say that she even spent a year with you and it was a waste, you should take that as a huge sign of disrespect, because your life has value, your time has value, your effort has value, your resources have value. You as a man have value. Don't ever tell a woman that. Whatever. Okay. Sorry about that. I didn't want to interrupt.
And to the women in the chat, you are worth being a wife. And if he's willing to string you along year after year and not commit to you completely and fully, then that is a waste of time. You are worth more than just being in the bed. You're worth more than shacking up with. You are worth to be a wife. Make yourself a wife and be with a man that wants to marry and wants to marry you. You are worth more than being just a side piece or just a woman in his bed without no real commitment for years.
Jonathan explained it correctly in one of his chats. He said someone like Pookie and someone like the lead attorney are two different people. What you guys are talking about is like a professional person, a person who has goals. What I'm talking about, DMX is a whole nother person that you guys cannot apply to this. DMX, these Pookies, they are not changing. I've represented them. I've gone down to South Georgia in the prisons where they're at. They are the same people.
So Lee, are you telling me that there's not let me ask you a question. Are you telling me that there's not a significant portion of the population, and obviously neither one of us know the data, right? We're not K. Right. But just in general, there's not a significant portion of the population that's shacking up. And even with this pandemic that's passed, there has been a lot of unexpected passings, to be respectful. There's been a lot of unexpected passings where people did not have their ducks in a row, and they weren't Pookies or Ray Rays and things like that, but they were in long-term relationships, and she don't get the pension. She don't get nothing. She don't get none of that stuff as a result of them not doing things the right and proper way as defined by this country and all of these different states, and that you should be married when you want to participate and operate like a married couple. But as a result, because things were not taken care of the proper way, and they weren't necessarily Pookies or Ray Rays, but all of us have an expiration date and we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. These are fallouts and things that people have to deal with as a result of not doing things the way properly and in order. Are you telling me that that's not scenarios that's played out significantly all across this country, especially over the last year and a half?
There are absolutely thousands and tens of thousands of scenarios just like you described. But what I'm trying to tell you is that the situation that you're talking about now is a different situation than what we started off talking about with Anton. We started talking about whether or not it was a waste of Courtney's time to spend 14 years with a good man and she doesn't get the big payoff at the end.
Well,
right?
That's so extreme. And first I'm going to say, I don't know how good he is to be with me for 14 years and not want to marry me. So, and
why are you with him for 14 years and you've allowed it? God damn, where is the accountability? Like some of you women have no accountability.
You understand
what smart woman, what woman who's on, what woman who values herself is going to stay with a man who for 14 years when she wants to get married after the second year? Value yourself. Put value on your life as a woman. Stop looking for a man to hand feed you benefits.
Well, that's a different conversation.
Lee, well, you understand that that's not me, okay? And that's what I'm saying. If I was in a situation like the late
14 years, and that's the man's fault.
I'm crazy.
Hashtag 14 years.
I'm doing it.
14 years, and that's the man's fault. You guys are absolutely crazy over here.
I'm not.
Again,
I would very much argue that I am the model example of what every man should aspire to be.
Well, your wife didn't wait 14 years for you to get married. Courtney's willing to wait 14 years.
What are you thinking? Wait, hold on.
I'm a benevolent dictator.
Hold on. Anton, chill out. Wait, where are you getting this content?
I think both of y'all are right. I think both of y'all are right, man.
Wait, let me say what I'm saying, because I want to know where Lead is getting this concept that I said I would wait 14 years.
Teasing, Court. I just weigh in to tease you. You know, so sometimes I just throw a little zinger in there. There you go. I just threw it in there, Courtney. I'm just messing.
Oh, you're doing a little salt bang. I got you.
14 years. You was around there for 14 years.
I was like, that's
fault. You was up for 14 years.
I was like, that hasn't happened to me.
14 years a slave.
One day I'm gonna convince you, Lee. One day I'm gonna convince you.
Oh my God, that's gonna be hard. You know,
Can I jump in for a second, guys?
I'm working on you.
Yeah, go ahead and close us out on this one, Mira.
I understand what both of you are saying, but I just want to say, regardless if he was a Pookie, regardless of whether he's a Pookie or a lead attorney, he's a man and she was a woman, and there's more value to marriage than just a paycheck. And I don't think Courtney at all was just talking about getting a paycheck. I think it has more to do with.
Thank you.
I think it has more to do with legacy. And honestly, when DMX unfortunately passed, he left her with nothing legacy-wise. She would have had the title of being his wife and would have been recognized as such in a respectable manner. She didn't get any of that, even though she did the duties as wife. So I think that's what matters more, is the legacy and being respectable. And she got nothing. She got no title, no respect, no nothing. So that's what I'm going to say.
All right, Lauren got something to say too.
Oh, no. We can close out. We good.
Okay, we're good. Okay. All right, if you guys just tuning in, welcome to Lapeef Let's Talk. I got a question that a fan submitted, and then we open up the lines, take a few calls. All right. Make sure you guys get them likes up. Also,
I just want to say this. I just want to say this, guys. Listen. To any
Wait, Lee. Before you say that, let me first acknowledge, and again, you know I do this every show. Shout out to the lead attorney. Shout out to him continuing to rock with us, him being a trooper, him sticking around for the entirety of the show. Like we didn't even know that this was gonna happen, but it just kind of popped up. So I gotta give you your credit. I always do. I do it on my platform. I do it on your platform, and I just want to acknowledge your greatness and the fact that you are on this phenomenal path. And I think that you're going to be much more wildly successful than you even acknowledge and give yourself credit for. I got the Versace robe. Just let me know what color you want on deck. And again, I just want to say shout out to you and show you some love and some credit and to give everybody a nod to make sure that y'all rocking with the lead attorney. His channel is fire. He do a live streams. He's one of the best live streamers that I've seen on this platform. So I just want to acknowledge you first before you
get on my case, right? No, I appreciate that. I really appreciate those nice words. Really, and this isn't even to the women, right? Because the women are going to have their own thing. But just talking to the men, especially if there are any young men in the chat, you have to know that your time is valuable and your life is valuable. And for any woman to say that she spent 14 years with you and that she got nothing out of it should be really one of the biggest insults that you ever hear in your whole fucking life. Like you have so much, even a year of your time. Sorry about that. But I'm passionate about this because people do not value men's time. People don't even value men. And so for a woman to look you in the face and tell you that after 14 years, she quote unquote, it was a waste of her time when she spent 14 good years with you. And now if you're a Pookie, this doesn't apply to you, right? Because if you're a Pookie,
you're talking about men in general.
Right? No, I'm talking about good men. I'm talking about the men in this chat. If you are a man in this chat, if you're a good man, and a woman can say that she even spent a year with you and it was a waste. You should take that as a huge sign of disrespect because your life has value, your time has value, your effort has value, your resources have value. You as a man have value. Don't ever tell a woman that. Whatever. Okay. Sorry about that. I didn't want to interrupt.
And to the women in the chat, you are worth being a wife. And if he's willing to string you along year after year and not commit to you completely and fully, then that is a waste of time. You are worth more than just being in the bed. You're worth more than shacking up with You are worth to be a wife. Make yourself a wife and be with a man that wants to marry and wants to marry you. You are worth more than being just a side piece or just a woman in his bed without no real commitment for years.
Okay.
I agree with
that last name.
What you say, Kay?
Get that name. Get that. Thank you, Amira.
I agree with what the lead attorney said because first of all, if you're there for 14 years, can you imagine saying you're there with somebody you rock with and are in love with and being like, if he dies, I didn't get any money, so that was all a waste. Like, what were you after?
Kay is exactly right, Anton. I don't know what you want me to say. Kay is exactly.
No one is saying that.
No, I'm not.
Oh my God.
No, Courtney.
You know you. Now I know you're wrong.
Courtney,
I know you're wrong.
I'm not saying that you said that. I'm saying
I know you're wrong now, Lee, because
Mr. Attorney.
Because one of the let me go.
I was silent for like 40 minutes.
I just said we're gonna let Kay rock. That's what I just said. Like, we're gonna clear the way for you. Go ahead.
Thank you, brother.
Oh no! Oh heck no! Let me get out of here.
Hey, Anton, you on code? Anton, you on code?
No, the entire they are stopped.
You're a brother now.
No, the whole time I was holding back. I was trying to, because I know I was talking a lot in the beginning of the show. You know.
Oh really?
Yes, I was trying to, not talk so much. But everything that the lead attorney was saying, I was very much agreeing with. My thing is, if you are a woman and then at the end, let's say your person unfortunately dies and you're like, that was a waste. What were you even doing to begin with? Because my thing is, let's say, I don't even want to say, but let's say somebody is in a relationship and then their man died. Like, can you imagine the first thing they say is like, oh, that was a waste? Because I didn't
not what you meant.
That's not what I meant.
Really? Hold on. Really? What is going on?
No, that's not.
What is going on over there, really?
I keep knocking my cord over, man.
Came and the light down and everything. Chaos came.
Hey, we got to get you some more equipment, man. Let's get some short cords over there, man. Order you a longer cord, man.
To be clear,
I
didn't say
really got hit in the head. Really got hit in the head with a ring light. What the heck is going on over there, bro?